From the Oklahoman, I'm Dave Morris, and every summer about this time, it is my pleasure to chat about the Festival of Homes produced, sponsored by BASCO, the Builders Association of South Central Oklahoma. This year, no exception. We're not slowing down at all. Today, I'm talking with the executive officer, Mr. Stephen Koranda, but then also some of the builders that featured home this year from Cougar Homes. We have Laura and Savannah Horn joining us as well. Hey, great to see everybody. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
For sure. Stephen, I'm going to start with you. Give us an overview of BASCO and how are things going this summer?
You know, Builders Association of South Central Oklahoma, it's the association on behalf of the home builders and their associates promoting the home building industry in Cleveland. I just went blank on the other three counties, Garvin, Grady, and McLean counties, so South Central Oklahoma. And it's interesting because this COVID pandemic really hasn't hit the home industry, the home building industry. Our builders are going crazy, continuing to build. Mortgages with the rates where they are going nuts. And usually we have about 40, 45, even our peak year, 50 homes at the festival. And this year, because of the purchases and so many homes being bought, we're down to 36 this year because builders are telling us we just don't have homes. They're flying off the shelf, not literally, but they're being bought right from underneath us, and so we don't have homes to put in the festival.
You know, it's interesting, and this year is interesting as one word to put it across the board, but it is interesting how it affects different markets in different ways. And to your point, I saw a report earlier today that sales of previously owned homes were up 20%. Just over the summer, so that underscores your point. You focus on South Oklahoma City, Moore, Norman, that market, and once again, you have a large selection of homes. Before we dive into specific homes by Cougar, what are some of the things that people can expect? We should also say that it's happening later this month, consecutive weekends, July 31st through August 2nd, and the following weekend, August 7th through the 9th. When people head down there, what can they expect?
Well, I just simply always say that they can expect to get their dreams going and they can be inspired. We've got homes from about the 210, 220 range all the way up to, and you ladies can help me, I think our highest price home is in the $700,000 range. And you walk through these, if you go through all of them, you walk through these 36 homes and you just get inspired and you just start dreaming and you say, man, I wish my kitchen looked like that, or I wish my back patio looked like that, or I love this layout. And so that's really what we encourage people to do, is just come out and imagine what your home could be like, and then talk to one of our remodelers, or even come back and say, you know what, it's time for a move. And so talk to one of our outstanding custom home builders like the ladies at Cougar and say, you know what, I want that. And so that's really what we challenge them to do.
It's the perfect setup. We'll go straight to Laura and Savannah Horn right now. Tell me about Cougar Homes. It's a family-owned business.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So,
Go ahead.
I was just I started off. Dad's a builder developer. I kind of knew at the age of 8 or 9 that I wanted to get into this and follow my dreams. I went to OU, graduated with a business degree, and just got into the home building industry, and have had obviously a great teacher, having my dad kind of show me the ropes, and mom came in, and now we all build homes together.
We should note that Dad, Mr. John Horn, is conveniently just off camera, but he is
Yes.
here as well. Complete family situation. Savannah, you mentioned at the young age of under 10, you were interested in this. What was it about it that drew you to it? Because kiddos are attracted to any number of things, but what was it about this?
Well, I was definitely a big fan of Legos growing up, so I don't know if it was the idea of being able to take something little and then build a bigger picture. So with home building, taking a plan, getting to tweak that plan and then see it culminate itself at the end. And, I just have always been interested. I remember drawing little architecture plans and handing them to my dad really young, like, oh my gosh, look what I drew today. And I've just always been really interested in it.
So that tells me, Laura, you were probably dodging those Lego pieces on the floor, right?
No, actually, I stepped on them.
That's what you do. You know, we had a Lego executive in the studio a few years ago, and that was one of my questions. I was like, parents everywhere want to know, how can we avoid stepping on these Legos? You know? Well, you guys had the featured homes. Cougar Homes has the featured home this year. Tell us about it.
We were very honored to be chosen for this year. We were able to put together a 2,130 square foot home, but we wanted to do something that was a little different. So in any development where you're building, you have architectural standards that the developers set. And we wanted to do something that was a little more modern, updated, different, but you have to work within the constraints of the developers. So on the outside, we tried to make the brick look like old reclaimed brick from like a warehouse, and then used stucco. And then on the inside, it's got traditional features. However, we did try to update it with more of a city to loft type interior. We put a really cool linear fireplace in with a floor to ceiling fireplace surround that again looks like old reclaimed brick. Used lots of different colors of metal, whether it was stainless, the new champagne colors, the black mats. It's just a really cool combination. One of the things that we always do when we're trying to decide on materials to use is we think about what's going to be the easiest for everyday wear and tear as well as cleaning. Nobody wants to clean their house every day because it's too high maintenance. So that's a lot of what we use when we go in. But it turned out beautifully. We're very happy with it.
Well, congratulations on that. It sounds amazing. Tell me more about Cougar Homes as far as the type of houses you specialize in, what you like to do. You know, what's your forte?
Well, at this point, we would like to get, I guess, more marketed towards doing some custom home building. We have yet to actually do a custom home build, but we, as in Cougar Homes, have only been building for, under the company name for about 18 months. So we're very new to the area, but we have been successful. So really we're just trying to expand. But so far we've built these spec homes and they're doing well. People love the houses. So we're just kind of starting to build on the successes that we've had so far.
Tell me more about the market these days. Stephen and I were chatting a little bit about that, but you heard, what are you seeing this year with the market and all the craziness that's going on in people's lives these days?
For the most part, in my opinion, it's not what I would have expected. I thought we were going to have issues with people being uncomfortable going and looking at homes and thinking about taking that kind of a leap of faith that they're going to have a job, that they're not going to get sick and have hospital bills to have to deal with. But apparently, that's not the case. John has been closing on lots all over. And when I say lots, I'm talking about lots for people to build on. And then several of the builders that we're close to in the association have been closing on the homes that they have built, just left and right. Some of them have been selling like 2 every couple of weeks. So Norman, at least I know, is doing well. I can't speak for the area markets, other than, like I said, there's other people out there that are buying lots in developments left and right. So I think it looks bright. And I think we'll wind up having a good year. We'll see what 2021 looks like.
Well, coming into 2020, we thought, hey, this is going to be a fantastic year.
Yeah, and then we got waylaid.
You know, one of the things we chat about on this little preview video to the Festival of Homes every year is what's kind of the latest emerging trend? And a few years ago, it was technology. Laura and Savannah, what would you say these days is the trend thing in home building and buying that people are like, hey, I need to have this in my house, or perhaps they're not aware of?
Ooh, that's kind of a tough one. I would say technology is definitely still up there, as we've all seen the rings, having, the really nice digital thermostats, all that I would say is still very, very highly marketable. People want that these days for not only comfort, but peace of mind when you're at home. So I would definitely still agree that technology is huge. But also like design trends, I think it's been kind of fun to play around with using the different, like she was saying earlier, we love to mix metals, using champagnes and blacks all together, having the island be a pop of color, different ways to make our homes look a little bit more unique. So I think that's what we like to do.
You mentioned the champagnes and blacks. Has that kind of replaced the grays? It seems like the grays were really trendy, or a good, safe, neutral, yet not an off-white type thing. What are colors these days?
People still love their grays. There's just, there's no getting around it. It's still a great neutral color. But the more modernized grays are starting to show up with a much lighter flavor, with a little bit of a taupe into it. But it still is a very neutral color to build from. I think that white cabinetry and white woodwork, trim work, doors are still a big thing on the interiors. I think they will stay that way. People are, I think, heading more and more towards sustainability, whether it's using more natural products, whether it's stone, bamboo, good teak woods, things like that, that last and wear well. But again, I think people are looking for simplicity in their lives. So I don't think you're going to see the kind of ornate things that our parents would have wanted whenever they built homes. People don't want to spend every day dusting their house. And the sleekness, I think, is something that's going to be continuing in a trend.
That makes sense. That's well said. Yeah. Sometimes you go to an estate sale and you're like, wow, this takes me back.
Yeah.
That is Laura and Savannah Horn there with Cougar Homes. They had the festival show this year at BASCO's Festival of Homes. That, I should say, show home can be found at 2215 Kimball Drive in the St. James Park. And more Cougar Homes information can be found on their website, which I believe is simply enough, cougarhomesok.com. And Stephen, I'm going to come back to you a little bit. We've been talking about how 2020 was an interesting year in COVID. If you can kind of give us a little bit of, here are the precautions, there's sanitation, there's social distancing. What should people know as they go through the Festival of Homes later this month?
Well, you just nailed it right there. I mean, we'll have the hand sanitizer, everything will be wiped down regularly. We don't anticipate even 20 plus people at the home at the time, so there'll be plenty of social distancing. You will be safe. For the homes that are in Norman, Norman does have a mandate of masks, and so we'll ask for the masks to be, and quite frankly, they should be at, whether you're visiting the homes in the Tri-Cities area or Blanchard or Goldsby or more. Just take that extra precaution. But we've got everything in place to make sure that everyone that's going to be going through our homes are going to be safe.
Fantastic. You can find more information by going to participating 7-Eleven stores and picking up a festival tour booklet there, which gives you a map and other sorts of information. You can also go to their website, basco-festival.com.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it. Thanks to Paige Dillard for producing this. Stephen, Laura, Savannah, and John, great to see you guys, and best of luck with the festival this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.